welcome to a session. Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the session. Now, this is a masterclass. For those of us just joining, maybe this is the first time you've attended the 10 Analytics Masterclass. If that's the case, then of course there's no problem. And if this may be your second masterclass, your third masterclass, there's absolutely no problem as well. Today, we are going to be taking a look at certain things. And in today's session, two things are short. We are sure of two things, and I'm going to mention all of this, okay? Stay with me. Now, we are going to be having fun. That's number one. So one thing that's sure for me and sure for you as well is that we are going to be having fun in the session today. That's number one. Number two is that we are going to be learning a lot. We are going to take a look at how we can do something that we love doing, how we can have a career that we no longer dread Mondays, the Monday craze. Oh, it's Monday again. I have to go to work, and I'm sure we are all familiar with that. Okay, so how we can have something that we are no longer in that conundrum of, oh, it's a Monday again, it's a Monday again, and all of that. Okay, and number two is that we are going to, at the end of the session, okay, we are going to appreciate the fact that we joined in, because the fact that you are here right now, the fact that you decided to join in to listening, it's just made your day a whole lot better. You've been having a good day so far. You've been flexing. You went to work, you're back, you're spending time with your family, spending time with your spouse, spending time with your kids. Everything is looking fantastic. You're having a good day. You joining the session right now, it just got 2 times better. What people call 2x. Okay, and so that is going to be the fact today. Now, for all of this to be the case, there's something that's absolutely crucial. For all of this to be the case, there's something that I need from you. And what is that? Do you guys want to know what that is? Okay, if you want to know what I need from you, I want you to send to the chat box. Okay, just send to the chat box, I want to know. All right, send to the chat box, I want to know. If you're interested in knowing, if you really want to know what I need from you to ensure that the session today is going to be fantastic for you. So Chinelo wants to know, fantastic. So what about the rest of us? Do we want to know? So we're currently 14 on the call. That number is definitely going to increase, okay? But I would want to hear from each and every one of us. So Nikki, do you want to know? Maureen, do you want to know? Oluwaseun, do you want to know what I need from you to ensure that you have a fantastic time? Okay? Victoria, do you want to know? All right? First, do you want to know? Okay, so Kingsley wants to know as well. Fantastic. What about the rest of us? What about the rest of us? So I need more responses, okay? I need more responses. Do we want to know what this is about for us to ensure that we have a fantastic time in the session today? So I need responses. Adiola, do you want to know? If you want to know, send I want to know to the chat box. Okay, send I want to know to the chat box. I need more responses. Okay, don't leave me hanging. All right. So I need more responses. Do we want to know? Are we interested in knowing what is that? What is that thing that would make this session fantastic? Thank you very much, Adiola. So Adiola wants to know as well. Now, for this session to be great for you, Oluwaseun wants to know as well. Fantastic. Now, there's something I need. So ensure that the three key things I mentioned will become a reality. And what are those three things? Number one, that we are going to be having fun. We're going to have fun, that's sure. Okay, that's number one. Number two is that we are going to learn how we can get that career of our dreams, how we can transition into the thing that we would love to do, that we are no longer going to be dreading Mondays. And of course, that the fact that we joined the session today, it's just made our day a whole lot better. Now, what do I need from you? What is that? I need communication. We had a test of communication just a couple of minutes ago with me asking you to respond using the chat box. Now, I'm going to need a whole lot of that. I like to give my definition of what communication is, because I'm sure we all know what communication is, or you think you do, okay? And so what's communication? Communication is it's transferring information to someone and ensuring that the person understands what you're saying. All right? Yeah, that's it. But to me, what is communication? To Aisha, sir, communication is I speak, you speak, and we all speak. All right, I'll repeat that. So communication is I speak, you speak, we all speak. That is what communication is about. Okay. So of course we might not be able to speak. We don't want to have a ruckus whereby we now have different mics being muted and all of that. Okay. So what would be the equivalent for you speaking? That would be you sending messages to the chat box, you responding to questions, and you contributing to whatever it is I'm saying at that point in time. So let's test that out. Let's know if we are going to have a great time. Are we ready to go? So if you know you're ready to go to get into the session today, send a 1 to the chat box. All right. If you know you're ready to go, send a 1 to the chat box. Are you ready to go? So we want to test out the communication now. The communication I just spent about 2, 3, 4 minutes talking about. We want to test it out now. So if you know you're ready to go, send a 1 to the chat box. So I can see a 1 from Adiola. Fantastic. Kenneth just sent a 1. Victoria sent a 1 as well. Absolutely amazing. More responses. Come on, guys. I need more responses. All right. Are we ready to go? So I need more responses. Ahmed, are you ready to go? Ahmed, if you're ready to go, send a 1 to the chat box. Blessing, if you're ready to go, send a 1 to the chat box. Maureen, Sam, Mitchell, Mike, Nikki. Okay, so I can say 1 from Marian, 1 from Oluwaseun, fantastic, a 1 from Chinelo. All right then, that's great. So good to know that we are also a 1 from Maureen as well. That's absolutely fantastic. Okay, so good to know that we are good. Good to know that we are good to go. That sounds like a bit of tautology now. But anyways, yeah, so good to know that we are good to go. So what are we taking a look at today? We are going to understand what is the difference between being a data analyst and being a business analyst. Okay, we are going to take a look at that. Understand the difference between what? Business analysis and data analytics, and how you yourself can also be a part of that. Okay, so how you can become a data analyst or a business analyst. That is what we're going to be taking a look at. And my screen is going to come up now. Okay, great. So my screen is up. All right. So this is what we're going to take a look at. Many persons, they really don't understand the difference between a data analyst and a business analyst. Some of us, we know we want to get into tech. We know we have an idea of what we would like to do. Of course, we all want to make the Benjamins, which I'll get into in due time. And when I say Benjamins, I'm sure we all know what I'm talking about. Okay, the Benjamins. But anyways, I'll get into that. So we all know what we want to do. We know about the path that we want to chart for ourselves, but we really don't know what it's called. Oh, this is what I'm looking to do. Is this being a business analyst or is this being a data analyst? And we are going to take a practical approach to things to help us fully comprehend what it means to be a business analyst, and of course, what it means to be a data analyst, and which is right for you. Great. So everything I just talked about, can be summarized into 3 things. Number 1, we take a look at the difference between a business analyst and a data analyst using a case study approach. Number 2, we take a look at how you can get into tech, how you can get the technical and employability skills necessary for you to get a job. Okay, get a job in tech. Get something that you no longer dread Mondays. Like I said, I think that would be our theme for today. How to not dread Mondays. All right, that will be our tip for today. Or you can get something that is high paying. You have good work-life balance. You can decide, you can freelance if you want to. You have good prospects. You can see a career growth. You know that in 2 years' time, this is where you're going to be. In 3 years' time, this is where you're going to be. And you do something that is amazing. And of course, we take a look at the upcoming cohort, which is starting October 5th, and how you can be a part of that. But you might be wondering, what is this platform all about? Especially for those of us that we just joined this. This is the first time joining a session like this. Like I've said at the start of the session, welcome to a session. Welcome to the session. This might be the first time. This might be the first time whereby you joined one of these the session. I'm placing emphasis on that for you to try to comprehend what I'm saying, for you to understand what I'm saying, okay? So this might be the first time where you are joining a D session, okay? And so what platform is this? Who is 10 Analytics? Whom is 10 Analytics? What is 10 Analytics? When is 10 Analytics? Which is 10 Analytics? Okay, so who is 10 Analytics and what is 10 Analytics? Who are we? Now, 10 Analytics is an edtech firm, number one. And what we do is that we get as many persons, as many Africans and the Black community in general into tech. The reason we started all of this is that we took a look at the tech sector, and we noticed that you really don't find this many persons of African descent, many persons of the Black community in general in tech. But when you now take a look at some other industries, maybe things like hair or maybe things like warehousing, and then now you see a lot of Africans. Okay, and so we decided that shouldn't really be the case. Tech is very, very fantastic. It's something that anyone and everyone can get into. And so we decided to put things in place to lower the tech barrier, that's the entry barrier into tech, so everyone can get into tech and of course get that job of their dreams. We currently have 8 programs that we have: the data analytics, business analysis, data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, Scrum, which is now known as the Agile Project Management, the cybersecurity, and AI engineering, which is coming soon. Okay, and we are very, very much successful in our field. We've been able to help over 2,500 individuals transition into tech from the classroom. And you can be a part of that as well. Okay, but yeah, that's 10 Analytics. But who is this person that has been speaking for a while, playing with words, talking about a decision? What is that? What is even a decision? Okay, what is this guy? Who is this guy? Why should I listen to you? Who are you? I should say. Just like I think I mentioned this earlier, maybe I didn't, or maybe I did. I'm Isusa, Isusa Agbonlaho, as you can see from the name tag at the bottom left, okay? And I'm the lead in charge of training operations here at 10 Analytics. I'm a seasoned technology professional. I have experience when it comes to data analytics, to business analysis, to power platform development, and more recently, predictive AI engineering, which which I went into at the start of the year. They have been able to work for with organizations across the UK, the US, Canada, Nigeria, and Singapore. I worked on a project with a Singaporean company just a couple of months ago. All right, and I've been able to train over 1,500 participants. Just I love training as well. Okay, as you might have noticed. So that's it about me. But we are not yet to take a look at ISOSA. Okay, and I can speak French, by the way. That's just by the way, like I said, a fun fact. Okay, so but we are not here to take a look at ISOSA. No, we are here to see what is really the difference between business analysis and data analytics and how we can be a part of that. Great. But before we go into that, remember, I talked about the fact that today's session is all going to be hinged on what? Communication. And what is communication? I speak, you speak, we all speak. So that being said, I want to know, let's say you were given a choice. So the only field available is law enforcement. That's the only place that you can get a job. Okay, it's either law enforcement or nothing. And you've been given a choice. Oh, would you like to be a police chief or a forensic investigator? So you have a choice to choose between one of this any of this career path. Which of them would you go for? So I want to see our responses, okay? Like I said, it's all going to be about communicating today. You've been given a choice. Oh, Wasiu, would you like to be a police chief or a forensic investigator? Oh, Precious, fantastic. You've been doing so well. We want to give you a blank ticket or a blank check. Take a look at these two things. Would you want to be a police chief or would you want to be a forensic investigator? Or Nikki, same question. Which of those career paths do you think it's something you would find you can find yourself in, something you would like to do if you were only restricted to these two choices. Which of them would you go for? I need responses, okay? So come on, guys. Like I said, it's all about communication today. So what do we think? Which of this path would you go for? What would you do? All right, what would you do? Would you would you be a police chief instead, or would you be a forensic investigator? Which of them would you go for? So I need responses. Okay, I need responses. Come on now, come on now. Let the responses start pouring in. So Wasiu, which of them would you go for? Victoria, Precious, all right, Oluwaseun, which of them would you go for? Jennifer, which of them would you choose? Isaac, which of them would you choose? Would you want to be a police chief, or would you want to be a forensic investigator? So Blessing says a forensic investigator. Fantastic. So Blessing is tilted towards, I think police chief. No, being a police chief is great. All right. I can control people. I can tell you do this. I can do this. But I feel my skills are more tilted towards being a forensic investigator. That's what Blessing thinks. And Oluwaseun and Jennifer also agrees with Blessing. Oluwaseun and Jennifer would also like to be a would also like to go into forensic investigation. Okay, to be a forensic investigator. What about the rest of us? What do we think? What do we think? I need responses. Okay, don't it's all about communication today. So Nelson is also forensic investigator. Really? So no one wants to be a police chief. Is that the case? Okay. Wasiu also wants to be a forensic investigator. That's amazing. Gabriel, Sam, forensic investigator. No one wants to be a police chief, really. No one wants to go into policing. Okay. It seems that was the case. Okay. So Adiola says, what if I want to be a police chief? There's really no problem. So Adiola, which of them do you choose? It seems Adiola would like to be a police chief. Fumilaya would like to be a police chief as well. All right. So Fumilaya would like to be a police chief as well. Great. What about the rest of us? Come on. What about the rest of us? What would we do? So I think I've gotten like I've got so Maureen also wants to be a police chief. So I've gotten 3 police chiefs and then the rest forensic investigator. All right. Let's hold that thought. So we have a section that would like to be, we have a section that would rather go into being into policing to become a police chief, and we have those that would become that would go into what forensic, that become a forensic investigator. All right, we'll get back to this. Hold that thought. But first of all, what is really the difference between being a police chief and being a forensic investigator? What is the difference, you might wonder? Now, for you to be a police chief, what are you going to be doing? Easy, simple, straight to the point. You are going to examine the overall operations of the police department and ensure that there is efficiency of processes and that everyone is doing their best to utilize minimum resources to achieve maximum goals. That was a lot of words. I'm going to break it down. Okay, that was so much words. Okay, so who is a police chief? A police chief is someone that ensures everyone gets things done. Easy, straight to the point. Okay, ensuring that the police department is able to achieve whatever it is they need to achieve with the resources available to them. But what about the forensic investigator? A forensic investigator is that person that would, go to the crime scene and would take a look at the evidence on the crime scene, and we use that to determine what happened and how it happened. Oh, at this point, I feel taking a look at this, I can see that the bullet was at an angle of 45 degrees. So the shooter probably stood at 12 o'clock, while the victim was at 3 o'clock. And then when the shooter shot the gun or something, the bullet flew in an angle of 260 degrees and something, and then finally hit the target. Based on the evidence, that is what I've been able to tell. The forensic investigator might take a look at things. Oh, there were 2 shooters. Oh, there were 3 shooters. Oh, there were 4 persons that committed the crime. Taking a look at things to tell you what happened in the scene and how it happened. That is the difference. So if you want to be a police chief, you're going to be doing what's at the left. And if you want to be a forensic investigator, you're going to be doing what's at the right. Hold that thought. Let's put a pause on that. We are going to come back to this. This is not an icebreaker. You know, when I hear about icebreakers, I cringe. Oh, icebreaker, no, he's just trying to make the mood, fun. Nah, that's really not what I'm doing. Okay. We are going to come back to this. And you are going to see how your choice affects you. Either you want to be a police chief or you want to be a forensic investigator. So stay with me. Stay with me. I got you. All right. Let's stay on the right with Tyson, sir. Okay. So moving on. Like I said, we'll come back to this. So we are going to take a look at a case study. And this case study would show us what is really the difference between being a business analyst and being a what? A data analyst. And then we'll come back to the police chief and the forensic investigator and see how our choice affects us. What case study are we going to be taking a look at? We are going to take a look at an organization called Lopen. Lopen is the name of the company. All right, Lopen. So don't go checking out Lopen. So I just came up with a name. Okay, so or maybe there's already a company called Lopen. Anyways, okay. So yeah, so we are going to be taking a look at Lopen. Now, what is Lopen? What do they do? Lopen is a mid-sized technology company, and they are focused on developing innovative software solutions for businesses and all of that. Recently, they noticed a decline in sales. They noticed a decline in their sales recently, and they need to fix that. Every company needs to make money. If you don't make money, you're going to, you become bankrupt and everyone goes on. Okay, so Lopen, they don't want to fall into that field. They don't want to fall into that category of now having to go bankrupt. No, they want to stay relevant. They want to still be able to make things happen. And so they need to get the sales from where it currently is at the moment to where it ought to be. They need to get the sales from, previously we're making about $50 million per year. So now we need to take that up to $70 million to $80 million. So we have enough profit to cover costs, to do all of that, and to still be afloat as an organization. And for them to be able to fix this, they brought in two professionals. They brought in the business analyst and they brought in the data analyst, two professionals. The business analyst and the data analyst, they're going to come in here and turn things around. They're going to come in here and make things better. So everyone can go back singing jingle bells, and know that everything is good with the organization. Okay, so it's close to December. Maybe that's the reason why he used the jingle bells analogy. But anyways, sincere apologies. Okay, so yeah, so that is what that's what they're doing. So Lopen brought in what? The business analyst and the data analyst, and they're going to solve this issue. How? Let's see. Who is a data analyst? The data analyst that Lopen brought into the organization. Who is a data analyst? Because now we know that Lopen has an issue. We know that Lopen, they currently they're not making as much as they would like to make. We know that Lopen wants to get to that point where they are making good money. And we also know that Lopen brought in the data analyst. But really, who is a data analyst? And how they're going to go ahead to solve the issues of Lopen? Easy. A data analyst is someone that will take a look at data and will tell you what the data says. A data analyst is someone that speaks the language of data. A data analyst is someone that can whisper to data and the data would whisper back. A data analyst is someone that can go ahead to analyze data and we bring valuable insights and present that to the stakeholders. A data analyst is someone that is responsible for analyzing and interpreting data to generate insight and support data-driven decision making. A data analyst is someone that will carry out two major things called the descriptive and the diagnostic analytics, which actually shows what happened, which is the descriptive analytics, and why it happened, which is the diagnostic analytics. Many of us on the call, we've probably had a business some time ago. Maybe you even have a business now. Maybe you have a company. Maybe you're a founder. Maybe you're a CEO. Maybe you have this business. You're a sole proprietor. I'm sure that something that you usually do is to take a look at past records to understand how you can improve your business. Let's say for this year is the end of the year. So for this year, you made sales of about, okay, so let's say you made sales of about $1 million. All right. So your business is doing fairly well. Okay, it's doing well. And so you made sales of about $1 million. All right, for that particular year. And previously, the figures you usually brought in was like maybe $200,000 at the end of the year. That was like the total revenue that comes in through the business. Okay, $200,000, or maybe you have $400,000. And in this particular year, you made $1 million. You would want to know, and I wanted to confirm if this is true. You would want to know what happened. How much did I even make? $1 million. And you would also want to know, why did it happen? I believe everyone on the call would want to do that. So I made $1 million this year. Why? What did I do differently that made me make this amount of money? Was there a change in the client? Maybe there was this new stuff, maybe there's this new policy that came into play. Maybe there was this influencer that pushed my product and everyone wants to get a piece of me, a piece of the business. You want to know what happened and why it happened, so you can go ahead to keep replicating the situation of why that happened, to continue having that happen. If you're still with me, all right, send "I'm still with you" to the chat box. Okay, if you're still with me, send "I'm still with you" to the chat box. That is, if you believe that you are still going to be, if you are in that same position as that businessman, as that businesswoman, that you made $1 million from your business when previously you usually made 200,000, that now you want to understand, that now you would want to understand what happened and why did it happen, to go ahead to continue doing that. So Jennifer is still with me, Adiola is still with me, Gabriel is still with me. Absolutely fantastic. All right. So any other response? Any other person? Is there anyone that's still with me? I want to know. Fumilayo is still with me as well. Okay, great. So good to know. Now that is what we would want to know, and that is what the data analyst does. Because the bigger your organization, your organization does not even need to be so big. It could be a startup, maybe SME, that's a small and medium scale enterprise. But you would need to take a look at the data. Gone are the days where data was all on the balance sheet. Now it's a whole lot more than that. So you would need to understand what is happening in the business and why it's happening. And the data analyst will do this for you. That was the reason why Lopen went ahead to bring in a data analyst to tell them, why are we not making enough sales? Take a look at our data. Tell us what's happening in the organization. Take a look at our data. Tell us, what do you think we can do to make things better? Take a look at our data and help us stay afloat. So the data analyst comes in and does a thing or two. Use the magic hands, speak with the data, and gets insights. And they go ahead to convert something like this. This is a data set. This is what a data set looks like, okay? They go ahead to convert something like this data set, into what? A dashboard. A dashboard that would tell a story. A dashboard that would be able to what? Communicate insights. And we can see that this data analyst that Lopen brought in, they went ahead to analyze the sales data of Lopen, and they were able to identify issues with Lopen's processes. They saw that customers are complaining of late deliveries. Okay, that customers are complaining of late deliveries. So this data set, they were able to build something like this, taking a look at the data, and they saw that there was a very large issue when it comes to deliveries. So a customer says, "Oh, I need this. I orders for a product," and that product gets to the customer 2 weeks later, when maybe it's supposed to be 3 days, 4 days, as the case may be. And then so we now have a large majority of customers that are going ahead to cancel their orders, and many persons going ahead to no longer patronize the organization because they are not looking and are not willing to wait the waiting period. I guess that's another one. Okay, so they're not willing to what? Wait through the waiting period. I think I need to stop using the same words over and over again. Okay, so I think I've been so aged on porn now. All right, and so I've been playing with words and all of that. Okay, so that is it. So they're not willing to what? They're not willing to wait. All right, they're not willing to what? To wait through that time. And so you now have a situation whereby you have customers, not that customers, they're no longer willing to what? They're no longer willing to use patronize the organization. They're no longer willing to make orders. And so your customer base reduces from, let's say, 1,000 to 400 to 300 to 200, as the case may be. Okay. All right. So the data analyst comes in and helps. The data analyst comes in and helps Lopen. Okay, it helps Lopen to see what is happening and why is this happening. Someone say data analyst. Okay, that sounds funny. But someone say data analyst. Someone send data analyst to the chat box. Okay, to see the role of a data analyst, it seems exciting. Being able to see what is underneath this organization. What do we need to do to get things what do we need to do to change things? So, like I said, it's all about going to be communication today. So send data analyst to the chat box. Okay, I need more responses. Okay, I need responses. Send the data analyst to the chat box. If you are still with me, if you're following so far, send a data analyst to the chat box. So Blessing sent data analyst all in capital letters. So Blessing is still very, very much with us. Okay, so that's a good one, Blessing. What about the rest of us? All right, what about the rest of us? So Wasil says data analyst, fantastic. Adiola says data analyst. Nikki, what about you? All right, so Nikki, are you with us? So data analyst. Okay, Jennifer says data analyst. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so Nelson is still with us. That's great. That's a good one. Now, we've been able to see how so Olukoide says business analyst. So that's a very funny one. Okay, but anyways, so we've been able to see how the data analyst will come into Lupen and help them make things a whole lot better. Okay, all right, so we've been able to take a look at that. Now, what about the business analyst? What would happen? So who is a business analyst? Because Lopen brought in two individuals, brought in two professionals to come in and make things a whole lot better. The data analyst came in, the data analyst did the magic, just a little bit of abracadabra, the magic words, and we were able to get a fantastic dashboard. And now we are understanding where the root of the problem lies. So what would the business analyst do? The business analyst will go ahead to work the magic as well. The business analyst is a professional who analyzes an organization's process and helps take that company from where they are to where they ought to be. A business analyst is someone that will go ahead to analyze, okay, so this is what we are doing at the moment. This is what we want to be. What can we do to take us from point A to point B? A business analyst is someone that will go ahead to take a look at the company's processes and identify areas for improvement. A business analyst is that middleman between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. Who are the technical stakeholders? Who are the non-technical stakeholders? The technical stakeholders are those persons that are actually carrying out the actual work, like let's say your developers, the developers, the data analysts, those persons that are actually very, very much technical, working on the things and developing that product or that project. And then we have the non-technical stakeholders. Who are the non-technical stakeholders? Those in charge of decision making. Talking about the CEO, talking about the CFO, talking about the COO, talking about the CTO, the CMO, the CDR, the CGR, the CFR, the CFGR, and what any other C you know, okay, all of the C's, okay? So those guys are what? They are the non-technical stakeholders. So the business analyst is also that person that will be the middleman between the non-technical stakeholders and the technical stakeholders, helping to ensure that whatever needs to be done, whatever the non-technical stakeholders need to get done, that the technical stakeholders are actually carrying that out. So we need to build a product. We need to build a new product. This is what it needs to do. The product needs to be yellow. Oh, no problem. The business analyst needs to ensure that the technical stakeholder goes ahead to get that done using what we call the acceptance criteria, the user flows, and all of that. Okay, but that's by the way. So the business analyst is that professional who analyzes an organization's business processes, systems, and stakeholders to identify improvement and solutions to business challenges. But how would the business analyst solve the problem of looping? What would happen? What would the magic be like? So the business analyst is going to take a look at what the data analyst has figured out, which is customers have been complaining of delayed deliveries and incorrect what? Orders, which has led to reduced sales over time. Okay, so customers have been complaining of delayed deliveries and incorrect orders, which has led to reduced sales over time. So that is the problem. That is what? That is the problem. The business analyst is now going to work on what the data analyst has discovered to make things sweeter. What will the business analyst do? The business analyst will take a look at this and say, okay, so the data analyst said there's an issue with delivery. All right, then, no problem. What is our process like at the moment? What is our order process like at the moment? When the customer wants to go ahead to order for an item, what are the different processes that customer would need to pass through? How can we go ahead to reduce the waiting time from 20 days to 5 days to 4 days to 2 hours? Everyone knows Amazon. Amazon has a same-day delivery, if I'm not mistaken. So how can we go ahead to get that done as well to ensure that we keep our customers with us and that we I'm sorry, but that's go. How can we go ahead to ensure that we get this done as well, to ensure that we keep our customers and that we are all everything is looking well and that we have increased sales. Okay, so that is what the business analyst will be doing. So the business analyst will take a look at the current state. What is the current state? How are we currently, what is the order process currently like? So the business analyst would say, oh, so what it currently looks like is that, so when customers want to make purchases, they go ahead, they pick up the phone, and they call the business and say, oh, please, I would like to order for this item. I need this, I need that, and no problem. And then what happens? A staff would manually write down the order. So when the customer calls, a staff would pick. When the customer calls, a staff would take note. So the staff takes notes of that and then would scan through a notebook to check if the item is available. So the customer has made an item. Oh, I need this, I need that, I need this. I need you to deliver 5 different phones to me, or 5 different virtual devices, or whatever it is they're ordering. The staff would write it down and would go to a system, a computer, something, and we'll take a look at if that product is available. Is it, do we have this available at the moment or not? And if the product is available, the staff would then go ahead to print out the order details. So this customer made an order, like what's it called now in the finance? Is it an invoice? What you get before, you go ahead to make an order, you get an invoice, not necessarily the receipts at first. Okay, but anyways, they go ahead to print that out. All right. All right, so Jennifer says yes. Thank you very much, Jennifer. So yes, an invoice. So they go ahead to print it out. And then they go to the store to check if that item is really available, because it's one thing for you to see it's available on the books. Okay, so maybe the system says available, but when you go to the warehouse, you go to the store, it's a different thing entirely. Okay, so they go to the warehouse to check, oh, is this item really here? Oh, then the item is available. Then they pick up the item and they prepare the shipping labels, package all of the package, put the item in the package, do all of the wrappings, attach a page or something to it, and add in the name of the customer, the order, the location, all of those things. And then go ahead to call a courier to pick up the items. So then go do what? Go ahead to call the courier that, hello, we need you to deliver these to this particular customer. And the courier comes along, picks up the items, and then drops it off for the customer. That is the current state of things. This is what is currently happening at the moment, that it takes 5 days or 6 days or a month, okay, as the case may be, to deliver that item. This cannot continue. The company needs to make money. The company needs customers, and customers need to be satisfied. That's like business 101. Okay, so customers need to be satisfied. And so the business analyst will take a look at all of this, as mapped out all of this. This mapping out would actually occur using a tool called draw.io, or your Microsoft Visio, or your Lucid Chart. That is the tool that would be used to map out all of these processes. Okay, and then they would now go ahead to draft out they'll go ahead to draft out what we call the future state. So this current state will take 3 days, 5 days, 6 days, a month, just like I mentioned, the old ways that customers are complaining about. And then they go ahead to draft out the future state. The future, the optimized state. This is how we are doing this at the moment. It's not good. How can we go around doing things in a better way? How can we go around doing things in a way that will get more customers to reduce delivery time? So they drafted something. They said, okay, so why don't we do this? So first of all, the customer would order online. No need for calls. Previously, the customer had to call. Now, no need for that anymore. So why don't the customer order via the online route? And then after they order via the online route, there will be an order management system. No longer a staff that will need to write it down, do all of this, but we'll have a system that will take a look at the order and will automatically, keyword, automatically update the inventory. That means the system would always know if an item is available or not. And there's no need to have to do some sort of background check and all of that. So the system would automatically update the inventory, and they would automatically generate the order details. And all of this can take place in maybe 5 seconds, 6 seconds, a minute. And they would also generate the shipping labels, and then would send a staff to pick up the item. So the system has already done the writing of the order down, has checked if the item is available or not. And then after it has done all of those vetting, it then sends a signal to a staff, oh, so this customer needs this item. And then the staff then goes to the warehouse to pick up the item. Okay, and as the staff is picking up the item, the management system is also auto scheduling the pickup with couriers. So the staff does not even need to call a courier. The system is just doing everything. So it has checked, it says, oh, go pick up the item. As the staff is picking up the item, it's sending a message to a courier that, oh, we need you to come over to deliver an item. And then the courier comes up, picks up the item, and drops it off with the customer to reduce delivery time. And this process would take 5 hours. So you order right now, your item will get delivered to you in the next 5 hours. Now tell me, would you, if this is the case, okay, would you prefer ordering from a company that would take 3 days to deliver that item to you? Or would you prefer ordering from a company that would take 5 hours to deliver that item to you? Which of them would you choose? Which of them would you choose? 5 hours. Thank you very much, Jennifer. All right. What about the rest of us? Which of them would you choose? I need responses. Communication. We talked about this at the start of the session. Today is hinged on what? On communication. So I need more responses. Which of them would you choose? So Blessing says 5 hours as well. Afram, which of them would you choose? Alfred. All right. What you say is the one that delivers in 5 hours. Order says 5 hours as well. As of course, that's the case. No one wants, you don't want to spend 3 days trying to get an item. And one thing that this would also help low pen to achieve is that sometimes, let's say, and I don't advise this anyways, okay, I don't advise this, but let's say you forgot your marriage anniversary. Please don't forget your marriage anniversary if you're married, okay? Okay, don't. But let's say you forget your marriage anniversary, and you remembered just you remembered, let's say you remembered by 8 a.m. and you are going to get home by let's say 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. and you're going to meet your spouse. Okay, so it would be beneficial. So that's what we call like on the spot purchase, something that just came up. It's not like you've been planning to make a purchase 5 days ago, something that just came up. All right. And so because you are sure of getting that delivery handed to you in 5 hours, you can go ahead to make what? An order. Thereby, you as a customer that low pen would have lost, low pen gains you, because now we have people that have been planning, have been planning to buy this thing 5 months ago. They can go ahead to make an order. They are part of our customers. And we have those persons that it was at the spur of the moment. And they also go ahead to make an order, thereby getting times 2 customers, 2x. Just like I mentioned for data analytics, if you know you're with me, send business analyst to the chat box. All right. If you know you're with me, send business analyst to the chat box. Okay, so I can see business analyst. I need more. I need more. So Jennifer has been quick to respond. So I think I'm going to give Jennifer a gift at the end of the session. Okay, so Jennifer, in case if I forget at the end of the session, I want you to remind me. All right, just send me you can just maybe place that on the chat box or something. Okay, that I have a gift for you. Okay, at the end of the session, in case if I forget. Okay, so yeah, so we can see business analysts, we can see business analysts, we can see business analysts from Sahid, business analysts from Afam, and all of that. Fantastic. Okay, so that being said, what moving on. That is what a business analyst does. And that's the way the business analyst will come into Lopen and help Lopen solve that issue. All right. Now, how can you get into all of this? Because now you've been able to see that how you have been able to see what the business analyst would do and what the data analyst would do. But why should this be something that you should be interested in? Being a business analyst is you having a tech skill. Being a data analyst is you having a tech skill. Why should you consider this at all? It's easy. It's straight to the point. And of course, it's sweet. So the reason is, number one, you have great work-life balance. I talked about dreading Mondays. Today is a Thursday. Tomorrow is a Friday. And many persons on the call right now, you can't wait for the weekend. Okay, I'm sure some of us agree with that. Like, I can't wait for the weekend. When I say I can't wait, I mean you want it to come. So you want it to come right now, like right now, right now. So the weekend, we can't wait for the weekend. We are always looking forward to the weekend to relax. Okay, because from Monday to Friday, Monday we're going to work, Tuesday we're going to work, and all of that. But we really don't want that to be the norm. You want Mondays to be just Mondays. You want to be able to appreciate work-life balance. Okay, you want to be flexible. And one thing that would offer you this is tech. You working as a data analyst or working as a business analyst, one thing that you are sure of getting, that you know you can get, is the opportunity to work fully remotely. I talked about, at the start of the session, I talked about the fact that I've been able to work with organizations across different across different countries. Okay, talking about the UK, the US, and all of that, Canada, and also Singapore. All right, I did not have to travel. Okay, I did not have to travel. It's all about working remotely. I get to companies or someone reaches out to me and say, oh, I need please, we're working on this project. I would want your expertise, would want you to work on this with us. And we want this to be great. And so that's the reason why we are calling you in. And you really don't get, oh, please, can you move? Do you have to be with us in the country or something at this point in time for you to actually get that done? That is that you can only find that is plentiful in tech. The opportunity to be able to be flexible. So you're on vacation, all right? You're on vacation and you're working. If you don't want to, of course, you don't need to work on vacation if you don't want to, but you get the drift. And of course, you also have growing job opportunities. At the start of the year, France released the report. And what was that report about? What did the report say? France released the report that they have a tech shortage, a shortage of tech talent. Do you know what that means? It means that there are so many opportunities available, but we don't have enough people that have the skills required to get into those jobs. When you go on different job sites, you can try this now, right now. Let's say you're in the UK, and you can try this now just as I'm speaking, okay? Go on read.co.uk or any job site and search for a business analyst role. You would see that, or a data analyst role, you would see that just today alone, over 200 roles have been uploaded to the website. Only today. When you go over tomorrow, you're going to see a whole lot of other roles, new roles. And the roles you see on LinkedIn, on Indeed, is different from the one that you see in another site. So many opportunities. And of course, you don't always need a tech-related degree for you to get into tech. You might be wondering, oh, but I did not study data science in school, or I didn't study data analytics. I don't have a degree in data analytics, or a degree in data, or a degree in business, maybe in international business management, as the case may be. It's not needed. You don't have to have a tech-related degree for you to be in tech. All my career, I've been in tech. Uh, I don't think I've done any other thing really. Okay. And I don't have a tech-related degree. I did not study computer science or maybe having to study data science. I actually studied forestry and wildlife back in school. Okay, I studied forestry and wildlife back in school. I'm a forester by profession, I guess I can say. Okay, so but I don't. That has not been an issue to me working in tech. I've never had a situation whereby I'm working on a project or I'm working with this organization, and then I'm asked, "Oh, please, the fact that you don't have a degree in computer science, you won't be able to work with us." Or all of that. No one cares. All they care about is, can you get this done? Okay, are you an expert in this field? Can you help us out? So if you were wondering, oh, but I did not study this in school, I didn't do this in school, I didn't do that in school, and you feel like that would be an hindrance to you moving into tech, being a data analyst, being a business analyst, that can never be more false. And of course, fantastic salary and benefits. Okay, talking about the Benjamins, tech is one career path that you know you are sure of getting great, that you are sure of getting higher rewarding salary. Technology and IT are continuously listed among the highest paid sectors. You can check this out. So you want to be able to get that job. You want to be able to do that, to have that career that you are not only able to cater for your needs, which is of course fantastic, but that you are also able to cater for your wants. I, for one, and this is just my opinion, you might not agree though. All right, you might not agree with me, but this is just something I hold dear. And what is that? I think that as much as getting your needs is important, that is for you to be able to afford shelter, clothing, and food. Yeah, I believe those are the needs, basic needs. Okay. So, as much as you need to be able to get all of that, your wants are equally as important. You want to be able to get a pair of shoes that cost $1,000 without really thinking twice and without it being so hurtful, okay, and having to budget for 5 years before you can afford those pair of shoes. If you want, though, it's not like, oh, you have to go and start spending exorbitantly, or as the case may be, okay. But if you want to do something like that, it should not be a challenge. Okay, so you being in tech, you are sure of getting a fantastic salary and of course great benefits. And one of them, getting to work at the heart of innovation and change. Today, tech is the big thing. Everything is tech. Any advancement we see in the world right now, it's usually attributed to something in technology. And so you having a career in tech, it's one thing is sure, you are always going to be relevant. It's as sure can be. Okay, so that is why this is one of the reasons, or five of the reasons, while being in tech is fantastic and while you should consider a career in tech as well. But should you go for any tech skill? And okay, so now you've talked about the fact that I should get into tech, no problem, fantastic. But is there a path I should follow? Tech is broad, tech is wide. There are so many skills, so many paths in tech. There are so many things you can do. Oh, you want to be a blockchain developer, you want to be that, you want to be this, you want to be everything. But there's a path that is true, a path for you to follow. Many of us on the call at the moment, and I'm sure that I'm sure that me saying this, I'm resonating with you. We are not at that point or at that stage where we could decide to have the luxury of time, where you can go around to learn things or for learning's sake. Right now, when you learn something, it's all about becoming a better professional, all about you advancing in your career. You really don't have the time to spend, so you need to learn a skill in 2 years and 2 years and 4 years to get a job. What we are really interested in right now, something I can learn as quickly as possible and get a job. Not just any kind of job, but a fantastic job with all of these features I've been talking about. And if that is what you're interested in, then there are three things that you should be looking out for. And what are those things? We have ease of learning. You want to learn a skill that is not difficult to learn. When I say difficult to learn, I don't mean that, I don't mean rocket science. When I say difficult to learn, I mean something that would take you a year, 2 years, 8 months, 9 months to learn. You are looking to make a transition. You are not looking to get a degree, a master's degree. Okay, so it's not like you want to go get a PhD and you need to spend a year or 2 years to get that done, or you are looking to get your master's, postgraduate degrees, and you have to learn for a year. That is not what you're looking for. You're looking for something that you can learn as quickly as possible, get a job, not just any job, but a high-paying role. So you want to learn that skill that will take you 3 months, 4 months, 5 months tops to learn. You get what is needed, and of course, you go ahead to slay. You want to go ahead to learn something that you know that you learning this, you can see good prospects for you. Ease of learning. And of course, you also have the ease of transitioning, which is actually hinged on two things. Number one, you don't want to learn a skill that it will be difficult for you to break into the role. Like, oh, you need to have some sort of background, you need to have done this, you need to have your master's, your PhD, in the field, you need to, like, maybe if you want to become a doctor now, you want to be a surgeon, being a surgeon or being a medical doctor in general, I would not say it's easy to transition into, because of course you need to go to school for, let's say, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, as the case may be. Okay, and then of course when you are done learning, you then have to you need some sort of background. You need to have done all of the courses. You need to have this kind of knowledge, this kind of experience before you are allowed to open someone up. All right. So while you are done with school, you still learn like you're still like a resident, okay, resident doctor. You're still learning under someone. Okay. So that is not what you want, because gone are the it's not we're no longer teenagers. Also, you have all the time in the world to learn. Right now, you have a family, you have things to do, you have things that are currently taking up space and time in your life. So you just need something. Oh, you learn, you get a job. Easy. And so ease of transitioning is all about two things. Number one, you not needing to have some sort of background for you to make the switch. And number two, that there are so many opportunities available that if you do decide to apply for 150 jobs, 150 new jobs every day, it is more than possible. That there are so many opportunities available, that there's enough for everyone, that you can decide to carry out what we call job hopping. What is job hopping? You get this job, and while you're in this job, you're applying for another job to get higher pay. And while you're in that job, you're applying for another job to get higher pay. That is only possible in tech due to the numerous opportunities available. Like I talked about at some minutes ago, there was a report that said that there is a shortage of tech talent. And of course, we won't forget this. You want something that's high paying, all right? You want to be able to get what? High and rewarding salary. All of those three things I just mentioned can be found can be found in these two career paths. Talking about being the business analyst or being the data analyst. You are sure of ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and of course, high and rewarding salary. Someone send tech to the chat box. I was about to say someone say yeah, but anyways, I think that's a feminist thing. Okay, so go ahead to send tech to the chat box. Send the tech to the chat box. Oh, fantastic! So I can see tech. So okay, so look how this is tech. Yeah, okay. I think that was a combination of both. Blessing says interesting. I can see tech, 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 tech. Exactly, tech. Tech is good. Tech is sweet. I don't think have you ever walked and you are enjoying walking? I don't think you have. I don't know if you have though. I do of course it's all depends on you. Have you walked and the walk is so sweet that you can spend you don't even see it as walk. Anyways, let's move on. Let's move on. So back to our analogy previously. Remember, I talked about the fact that what's career paths, if you were given law enforcement, what would you choose? Would you want to be a police chief or would you want to be a forensic investigator? In that analogy, or in this analogy, the business analyst is the police chief. Because the police chief will go ahead to ensure that the police department, that their processes are efficient, that the little that the department has, that it's being used in a manner that will get things done. That if the department is currently not doing well in an area, that things are changed, or maybe you need to assign some more units to this particular location to ensure that what things are going well, that there's safety of citizens. And of course, the forensic investigator, which will go ahead to take a look at something, will go ahead to take a look at the crime scene, and would use the evidence to tell you what happened and how it happened. The data analyst would do same. Take a look at the data and use descriptive and diagnostic analytics to talk about what happened and why it happened. So, would you like to be a police chief or a forensic investigator? Think about it. All right? All right. So that is it. Like I said, we are going to get back to this. And as you can see, now you've been able to, oh, I think I'm more tilted towards this. I think this is what I would like to do. I think this is what I would like to do based on your earlier decision. But why really should you go into tech? I've been speaking about this for a long time. I've been talking about the fact that you need to get into tech, ease of learning, ease of transitioning. I am rewarding salary. It's fantastic. It's sweet. It's nice. But you might still be doubting because, of course, Aisha is going to say good things. You did not join the session expecting that Aisha would say something like, "Oh, don't become a business analyst because being a business analyst is not a good career path." You didn't expect that. That was not if you were to bet and to say, "Oh, before you join the session, maybe the survey, the form you filled when you joined the session, okay? Let's say in that session, in that form, you were asked, do you think Aisha would say become a business analyst? Or do you think you would say do not become a business analyst? Everyone is going to say become a business analyst. You won't expect me to come in here and tell you that, oh, business analysis or data analytics is not good. I would not say that. But over that being the case, everything I've said so far is true. I understand that you might want some sort of external validation, and which is something that we as a company, Analytics, we also wanted. Because we did all our research. We went ahead to take a look at things. But we know that we are a data company, and we know that one thing in data is that when you're analyzing, especially when it is in relation to you, there is this tendency for bias. It might be unknown. It might not be intentional, but there could be some sort of bias. And so we needed to seek external validation. An organization that is out there that does not have ties with analytics at the moment. Okay, and so we went to the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum. What did they do? The World Economic Forum went ahead to carry out, and so World Economic Forum is a very, very big organization, okay? And what did they do? They went ahead to carry out research and released a report called The Future of Jobs, which showed roles that are going to be available with time, which showed roles that there's so many opportunities right now, and that those opportunities would only grow with time. So, just to debunk some of the stuff about, oh, I think AI is going to take my job, AI is going to take your job. So, which jobs would AI take? Okay, so they went ahead to carry out these analysis. Oh, these are jobs that we know are going to be very high demand. They're in high demand at the moment, and they're going to be in high demand in the next couple of years. Those are by the left, and then of course the ones by the right. Okay, so those are by the left, and then of course the ones by the right, those are the jobs that are going to decrease in terms of opportunities with time. And by the left, you would notice that we have roles in there. Okay, so we can see we are focused on the business analysis. There are so many roles in here. Okay, but we are focused on business analysis and data analytics today. Okay, now over here you see you have the business intelligence analyst, and the data analyst and scientist role. I will talk about what I termed the boxing syndrome. It's not a thing yet. I'm the one that came up with the term. Or should I say theory now? And don't worry, I'm going to get external validation, and it would end up being certified. And maybe students will begin studying the it will now be studied in school. So it's something I came up with, the boxing syndrome. Maybe I will come up with a better name, but I'll tell you what it's all about in due time. Just stay with me, okay? So, but taking a look at this, you see that we have this role called the business intelligence analyst and the data analyst and scientist. And these are roles that can be applied to by the data analyst. Many roles, like especially for your data analytics and your business analysis, there's other roles you can apply to. As a data analyst, you can work as a business intelligence analyst. You can work as a supply chain analyst. You can work as a data analyst. Same for the business analyst. As a business analyst, you can work as a business analyst, of course. You can work as a business data analyst. You can work as a process automation specialist. You can work as a process optimization analyst. And so many, which I will show you. So taking a look at this, you'll notice that there are roles. As you can see, for the business analyst, you can see the process automation specialist. You can see the data analyst and scientist, the business intelligence analyst. All of those roles are roles that can be worked in as a business analyst or as a data analyst. This was shown by the World Economic Forum. Roles that are going to be available. So when I hear things like, oh, business analysis is saturated, I don't want to be a business analyst, everyone wants to be a business analyst, I'm like, I really don't understand. Where is that coming from? It's just a popular misconception. It's a very common one at that. People think that, oh, business analysis is very, very hot right now. And so you have different persons saying, I want to be a business analyst, I want to be a business analyst. And so based on my own personal analogy and my own personal analysis, I think business analysis is saturated, which is false. I talked about the fact that you can go online right now. Go on a job site. Can go on the job site. I gave an example of read.co.uk. Search for business analyst or data analyst and filter for roles that were uploaded only today. You are going to see nothing less than 200. Okay, you are going to see over 200 roles or close to 200 roles up just today. I'm not saying all time or roles applied, say roles that have been uploaded throughout this week. I'm talking about only today. There's so many opportunities available. Now, talking about the boxing syndrome, which I came up with. Okay, so I'm talking about that. Many persons usually box themselves when they are applying for jobs. You have a data analyst. You're a data analyst. You want to apply for a job. And then you are only searching for data analyst roles. When you are searching, what you have in there is data analyst. That is you narrowing your chances, you narrowing your opportunities. Hence the name, the boxing syndrome. I think I should come up with a better name. If you have a better name for that, maybe you can send that to the chat box and maybe I would use your name. And then when it goes viral, I would attach credits to you, whoever suggests the best name. Okay, so I would attach credits, and of course, maybe we can both share the glory of, oh, and we are studied in schools. I'm like, oh, these are the guys that came up with this. Okay, so many persons, they go ahead to have they box themselves when applying for jobs. As a data analyst, you want to apply for data analytics roles, and you're only searching for roles titled data analyst. Many organizations use different job titles or synonyms to refer to the same job role. A company that specializes in supply chain might want to employ a data analyst, and will go ahead to title the role. So on the job board or the job post that they would send out, what will be there would be supply chain analyst and not necessarily data analyst. A company that wants a data analyst that will come in to analyze their marketing data, their ads data. So how are we doing in terms of our ads? How can we improve our promotions and all of that? The role might be titled Digital Product Analyst. So when you go ahead to just check for data analyst, all of those other opportunities that were available to you, they are no longer available to you because you just carry the cloth. All right, you carry the cloth and then you just put it out. You just say, oh, data analytics or nothing, when they're all data analytics and roles. So Brenda says one-way traffic syndrome. I think that's a good one, Brenda, but I don't think that is going to go into any textbook. Okay, the plan is to get it into textbooks and for it to now be studied. And I don't think one-way traffic syndrome will get into textbooks. I think that's so I think we can come up with something better, Brenda. All right. But anyways, that's a good one. And so if taking a look at my screen, you see the roles that you can apply to as a business analyst and as a data analyst. As a business analyst, you can apply for roles such as your process analyst, your business systems analyst, your systems analyst, functional analyst, your business process improvement analyst, all of that. Similar situation for the data analyst. So all of this put in place, you can understand why there's this thing called ease of transitioning. The fact that there are so many roles that are available to you. Yes, to you. I'm speaking to you. Yes, I'm speaking to you, Gabriel. You. There's so many roles available. All right. If you're looking to transition into tech, Gabriel, you want to be a business analyst or you want to be a data analyst, there are so many roles available to you. The prospects are amazing. Okay. But what do you need to be a business analyst? What do you need to learn to be a business analyst? Easy. First of all, you have your Excel, Power BI, and SQL. That is what we do at Stain Analytics, is that we always want to give our business analyst a flavor of data analytics. So you can function in the role titled business data analyst. Because one thing that we've noticed is that many organizations or many recruiters, they want business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics. It's just like that time you went to purchase ice cream. Although something I've noticed recently is that adults don't take care of themselves. When was the last time you had a treat? I don't mean the last time you bought something for your kid now. When was the last time you took yourself out? I want to know. When was the last time you took yourself out? You just said, oh, today I want to buy ice cream, or you just want to relax, you want to go to the park, do something nice for yourself alone, not for your kids, not with a spouse, just with, or maybe with a spouse. I think that is all right, but not with your kids, most especially not with your kids, because when your kids are there, that's like added stress. Okay, so just for you, when was the last time you took yourself out? You bought something nice, you just treated yourself. When was the last time? All right, when was the last time? I want to know. I want to know. Because I was about to explain, use an analogy, but I felt you guys might not really understand because adults don't really take care of themselves. Okay, it's all about the kids just getting things done. You have to go to work, you have to come back, you have to do this, you have to do that. No time for yourself. So Gabriel says quite a while, and I do understand where Gabriel is coming from. All right, so Maureen says, 2 weeks ago. So that's a good one, Maureen. That's actually pretty good, if you ask me. Okay, so 2 weeks ago, that's actually good. What about the rest of us? Nelson, when was the last time you had fun? Tyrell, when was the last time you had fun? Wasiu, when was the last time you had fun? When was the last time? As adults, we need to take care of ourselves as well. Okay? Flex. Once in a while, do something nice for yourself. Okay? Anyways, so that being said, please, if you know you're on the call right now, and that the last time you had fun, it's like 5 years ago, okay? Please, tomorrow, and I mean tomorrow, like literally tomorrow, okay? Do something nice. It doesn't have to be expensive, just get something nice. I plan to treat myself on Saturday. Fantastic, Kwasiu. That's the spirit. That's what I like to hear. Okay, that's what I like to hear. I, for one, I'm planning on going on a vacation soon. Okay, I'm going to go on vacation soon, and that vacation is going to be no work at all. Like just just to relax, okay? But anyways, yeah, that's the case. So back to the analogy I was giving, I was saying many recruiters nowadays, they want a business analyst with a flavor of data analytics. Just like when you go to purchase ice cream, maybe you didn't purchase ice cream for yourself, maybe for your kids, okay? If you have kids, let's say your kid says, I want ice cream, I want strawberry, and I want chocolate. And so you tell the vendor, or what's, I don't know if there's a name for it now, but whoever is selling, whoever is in charge, okay? You tell the vendor that I would like ice cream and I would like 2 scoops. I would like a scoop of chocolate and I would like a scoop of strawberry. A scoop of what? A scoop of chocolate and a scoop of strawberry. So that is what you want. That is what recruiters now want. They want a business analyst, a chocolate. They want chocolate. But I want you to have some flavor of data analytics. Add some strawberry there, add some waffles. Just make the ice cream. Just give me something sweet. Okay, so that is what business analytics. That's what some recruiters want, and that is the reason why we give you a flavor of data analytics. I'm just using sweet terms nowadays. I don't know. It's just like I said, tech is sweet, guys. Tech is it's sweet. So we now give you a flavor. You give you a flavor of what of data analytics, so that you can function and in your role as a business analyst, utilizing your data analytics skills, opening doors for you, such as the roles of a business data analyst. And after learning about your Excel, your Power BI, and your SQL, you then move into things like your process mapping, whereby you learn how to map out processes. Remember the case study for Loped, how the business analyst was able to map out the current state and the future state. So you get to learn how to do that using this tool, Draw.app, using this tool, Lucid Chat, and also Draw.io. And then you also learn how to go about your project initiation planning, your Agile Scrum for projects. When you're talking about your Jira, how you can facilitate all of that. You have your software development lifecycle, which is your SDLC, which is used when an organization is looking to create a new software, an application could be an application, and all of that. Okay, the different ways that you need to move from step to step in getting things done. Your requirement fundamentals, how you get what is needed from the non-technical stakeholders as regards on that project, and then how you use that to build your acceptance criteria that the developer or whoever is working on that project will use as a guideline for what should be done. And of course, you have your ChatGPT for business analysis, because we are currently in the world of AI. And one thing I tell people that some persons do not really know is that AI is not coming to replace people. It's not coming to replace jobs. All right. AI, okay, or at least 10 jobs, by the way. Okay. So AI is not going to replace you. Rather, people who can use AI replace those who can't. All right. So people that can use AI will replace those that cannot use AI. And that's the reason why you want to learn how you can leverage AI to increase your efficiency, all right, and make you more effective as a business analyst. For a data analyst, what do you need? Number one, problem solving. You can't say you are a data analyst and you can't solve problems. That is just like you saying you are a farmer, but you can't farm. Okay? Or you are a teacher and you can't what? Teach. Or you are a singer and you can't what? You can't what? You can't sing. I know some of us back home we were like sing, you repeated after me. Or you are a doctor and you can't what? You can't doctor or you can't doc. Okay, so yeah, that's about that. So you say you're a data analyst and you can solve problems, then you are really not a data analyst. All right. So you learn about problem solving, the different ways you can solve problems, the different problem solving methods, such as the 5 whys, the Cribs DM framework, the McKinsey model, all of that, how you can solve business problems. And of course, you move into your Excel, which is the bread and butter of every data analyst. You want to know how to use Excel. So you get to see how you could work with Excel for data analytics, not the Excel you think you know. That Excel you know is you just use it for spreadsheets. That Excel is a whole lot more than that. And then you move to SQL, which is your structured query language, the language which is used in communicating with databases. Because many organizations, they store their data, many organizations store their data in databases nowadays, especially those that have websites. So you need to understand the language for you to be able to get the data from the database and to query the data to get what you need. And of course, we have Power BI, learned about Power BI, learned about Tableau, and data storytelling. If you are a data analyst and you can't tell the story with your data, then you are not a data analyst. You are a dashboard builder, not a data analyst. It's one thing for you to be able to create dashboards. It's one thing for you to be able to analyze data. It's another thing for you to be able to communicate the insights you got from that data. One of them is A, the other is B. You need to be able to tell stories with your data, just like the stories previously, maybe Tales by Moonlight, which begins with story, and once upon a time, time. There was a man called. So you know those stories, all right? You want to be able to talk about your insights that way. Of course, you're not going to start with story during the meeting, all right? But you want to be able to communicate the insights in a way that will be easily understood by all of the stakeholders in that meeting. And your ChatGPT for analytics, and also your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. That is what you need to be a business analyst or a data analyst. But we've talked about data analytics, business analysis. What's the difference between being a data analyst and a business analyst? What's the difference like? Easy. We have a data analyst, number one, focuses on using data to help the business answer key questions and solve problems through data-driven decision making. Okay? While the business analyst will take a look at the holistic performance of the business, the general performance, and look for areas of inefficiencies and make things a whole lot better. The data analyst focuses more on the tools used to extract insights from data, while the business analyst is more focused on how the insights from the data analyst can help in increasing the overall efficiency. Remember Lopen, the data analyst discovered that customers are complaining of late deliveries. And the business analyst went ahead to optimize the process to ensure that that is no longer a thing. I believe you're getting this. And then we also have the data analyst works a lot with cleaning data, preparing data for analysis, building reports and dashboards to communicate findings, while the business analyst works a lot with the business stakeholders, understanding their requirements and helping, excuse me, sorry about that, and helping to ensure that those requirements are delivered. The tools, the tools that the data analyst would be using, the tools the data analyst needs. All right, you have the problem solving, just like we talked about, communication, data storytelling, your Excel, your Power BI, Tableau, SQL, ChatGPT for data analytics. While for the business analyst, we have interviewing skills, communication skills, people skills, how to work with Jira, Draw.io, Confluence, Excel, Power BI, and SQL, and of course your ChatGPT for business analysis. That's it. The difference between these two career paths. But what would make you succeed? We take a look at that. We take a look at what will make you succeed. Okay? But there are people that have succeeded. There are people that have been able to make that switch from whatever it is they were doing into a career in tech. Not just learn the skills. We are not about you learning the skills. That's a given. You are going to learn how to become a business analyst. You are going to learn the skills of a business analyst, the skills of a data analyst. That's normal. What we are most interested in is how you can make that full transition and get a job in that desired career path. We've had so many persons that have been able to make the switch. Like I said, we've been able to help over 2,500 individuals transition from the classroom into their first job in tech through the past 4 years. And these are some of them. We have Abigail that was able to transition to become a business analyst in Canada. All right. Abigail transitioned from a care worker to becoming a business analyst in Canada after completing the 10 Analytics business analysis program. We have Joel, all right, that was able to transition to become a data engineer. We have Muidin that was able to transition into become a business development analyst. We have Brahman that was able to transition to become the business analyst. We have Bukola, so many testimonials. And once you get the slides, you can click on this to listen to them speak. You don't have to listen to me. This is not Aisha talking about this now, but this is them telling you how they're able to make this transition and how we were able to help them make that switch. We have Tony, we have Vivian, so many names. I can't go through all of them. I can dedicate a session, just like we've been speaking for over an hour now. And I say we've been speaking. And I said that purposely because you've been speaking using the chat box, okay? Just like we've been speaking for an hour now, an hour plus. I could decide to dedicate a session to just testimonials. It's that many. All right. So once you get the slides, you have the time, click on this, listen to how we're able to help these guys transition to get a job. All right. And there are more success stories. More success, so many stories. This is how we are able to help. This is how we are able to help. Someone transition from the business analysis program in February this year into getting a job as a business analyst with the government of government of Canada. All right. So many testimonials. This was when this was Benem joined the HR analytics program, and she got a job as an HR analyst in the US. So this was her sending the text to one of us, or sending the text to Mary. So Mary is a fantastic professional on how she was able to make that switch. Okay, this is how we're able to help. We're able to help Abdul. Abdul joined the HR analytics program in October, and we're able to help Abdul transition into getting a data analyst job in the UK. Don't listen to me. Listen to them. All right? Listen to them. So many testimonials. It's so many. This is Busola, how we're able to help Busola get a job as a performance analyst. Remember, I talked about the fact that you can work in multiple roles. So this is Busola getting a job as a performance analyst in Desjardins in Canada, 2 months after joining us. So many testimonials. Okay, this is Buki. We have Buki. How Buki was able to get a job. Ashim was able to get a job. And we have sessions dedicated to us bringing people in to tell you how they're able to make that switch. We had one yesterday. All right, we had a session like this yesterday, and you can click on this, listen to how we're able to help these guys make the switch. So click here to watch. You can listen to the session, listen to how we're able to help these guys make that transition. So many testimonials. But you might be wondering, how can you be a part of this? Okay, how can you be so many testimonies? I can go on and on, okay, on and on. But you might be wondering, how can I be a part of this? Because I used to say, I've seen that you said people are getting jobs. But I know of Kunle. Do we have a Kunle on the call? Let me check. I need to confirm. Okay. Do we have a okay? So no Kunle on the call. I don't think we have a Kunle. So you might be wondering, oh, Aisha, sir, I have a friend called Kunle, or I have a friend called Jacinta or Jasmine, and Kunle learned Power BI, Excel, and SQL 5 years ago. Kunle still has no tech job. Kunle is working somewhere, but not with his tech skills. What would make me different? What will make me different? I will tell you. It's because we've understood what works. We know how the job market operates. We know what is needed for you to get a job. We know what you need to do to get that job. We understand the job equation. And what is the job equation? T plus E will get you the job. What Kunle is missing, the reason why Kunle does not have a job yet in tech is because Kunle has only the first 50%. For you to get a job, you need both sides of the equations. Both sides of the equation. 50 plus 50 is what gives you 100%. Talking about the technical skills and your employability skills. It's one thing for you to be a business analyst. It's one thing for you to be a data analyst. And it's something entirely different for a recruiter to employ you as a data analyst. It's something entirely different for a recruiter to know that, oh, you are a business analyst and you are the one I want for the role. And that is the reason why we have something else to ensure that you have the job equation completed. The technical skills is a given. Of course, for you to do the role, you need the skills. You can't say you are a data analyst and you cannot perform as a data analyst. It doesn't make sense. That's a given. You have the skills, no doubt. That's a given. But what we call success here at Analytics, what we define as success is not you learning the skills. That's a guarantee. That's sure. What we define as success is you getting a job, you being able to fully transition into tech. And we are very, very much successful. And I'm sure you understand what that means. We have other sessions catered towards ensuring that you have what it takes to succeed in the job market. Starting with the level 1, which talks about the CV review. The CV review session is meant to ensure that your CV is well crafted. Many persons go ahead to apply for jobs. And when they apply, they feel it's over. Like when they say it's over, like, okay, so let's say they apply today. They apply for a job today, and then they say, okay, so I applied today. In the next 5 days, I know I'm going to get a call back from the recruiter, and that I'm going to go ahead to get the job. I'm going to get called for an interview. And the truth is, as soon as they actually clicked on submit, that's on the job board, they clicked on submit or apply or whatever, the ATS, which is the applicant tracking system, clicked on delete. So they clicked on submit, the ATS clicked on delete. And so the recruiter does not even know they exist. Some persons go ahead to apply for jobs. They don't get called for an interview. And they feel like, oh, maybe the recruiter took a look at my CV and the recruiter did not like my CV. When the recruiter does not even know you exist. Because the recruiter did not even see this. They don't even know if there's someone, they don't even know. It might be a bit, that's just the reality of things. Because when jobs are posted, you can have maybe 100 people apply, 200 people apply, 300 people apply. And the recruiter would end up going through 10 CVs, 20 CVs. And they would pick from those CVs the people that would be interviewed, and then of course go ahead and pick the whoever will be getting the job. The ATS would filter all of those CVs and will present those it thinks are the best match for the job to the recruiter. When sending a CV, there's something that works because think about it. I don't know if we've ever thought about this, but if not, I want you to think about it now. Your CV is just a piece of paper. Of course, I know it's a digital paper because nowadays we have digital CVs. I don't think anyone still uses anyone still uses the send it, mail it, or whatever. You apply via via the online route. But it's still a piece, it's just a document that contains things about you. The recruiter has not seen you. The recruiter has not heard you speak. The recruiter does not know you. So it's not like the recruiter thinks that, oh, you're not good enough, or the recruiter does not like your face, or the recruiter does not like the way you speak, or the way you sound, and that's the reason why you were not employed, or you were not called for an interview. The recruiter does not even know you. So that means that there's something that works. There's a way your CV needs to be structured that would ensure it passes through the two roadblocks. And what are the two roadblocks? We have roadblock one, being that it passes through the ATS. And the roadblock two, that when it eventually gets to the palm of the recruiter or the screen of the recruiter now, that the recruiter takes a look at your CV and knows that you are the one for the role. And will go ahead to call on you to say, I would like to have an interview with you. I think you will be a good fit. The CV review session would show you what works and how you can do that as well. And of course, we have the LinkedIn optimization session. LinkedIn is what I like to call the Facebook of professionals. LinkedIn is great. I'm not a recruiter by job description, but due to the numerous projects I work on, I end up recruiting numerous individuals. So let's say I'm working on the project. I need to deliver on this project in the next couple of weeks, and I really don't have the time to work on it. I can bring people into the team, all right, that work on the project with me, and then of course we get it delivered on time. So I've been able to interview over 100 persons. And what do I do? When I need someone to work with me on a project, I usually don't have the time to go ahead to place a job post or a job ad. I headhunt. And what is headhunting? I go on LinkedIn. LinkedIn is my go-to place. That's what I use anyway. So other recruiters can have whatever they use, but I use LinkedIn. I go on LinkedIn and I search for the role. Let's say I need a data analyst to work with me on that project, or a business analyst to work with me on that project. I search for business analyst or data analyst, and then I get different profiles pop up. And LinkedIn is great because LinkedIn has this feature, this random feature, whereby it doesn't really matter if you have 50,000 or 60,000 followers. The chance of your profile being on the first page is still pretty high. Like there's a way it works. I really don't understand the mechanism behind LinkedIn. So everyone has some sort of an equal chance of being viewed. I don't know if you've ever tried that. You can go on LinkedIn. You don't just search for a role. You see different kinds of profiles pop up, and not really those that have 100,000 followers or whatever. Okay, so I see the profiles, and then I take a look. Those profiles that are called to be the first in your profile picture. I take it if your profile picture is professional enough. I click on it, and then I take a look at your profile. What's on your profile, the features. Do I think you are a good fit for the role? And if I think you can do the job, I then reach out and send you a message. I can send anyone a message on LinkedIn. I then send you a message, and then you with the telling you to send in your CV with a job description if you're interested. And for those that are interested, they send in their CVs, and then we have an interview. And then of course I go ahead to pick whoever I want. That is a situation whereby you are being told to apply for a job you did not even know existed. So many jobs out there. For you to be able to be a part of that, your LinkedIn profile needs to be optimized. Your LinkedIn profile needs to be great. The LinkedIn optimization section will show you how you can have what we call emails, whereby you are getting job posts, job updates that you are a good fit for. And of course, if you are interested in freelancing, you want to work 5 to 6 and then go to bed the rest of the day. You want to work Monday and Tuesdays and then go to bed for the rest of the week. You're interested in freelancing. Upwork is a good platform for you. The Upwork optimization session would show you how you can get a great Upwork profile, how you can be a successful freelancer. Because Upwork is a tad bit technical due to the currency system called Connect. How you can succeed in Upwork and be a successful freelancer. How you can go ahead to send proposals, and then your proposals are actually viewed, and that you are interviewed, and that you are given the gig. And also how you can navigate the job market. Because you might be new to it. So let's say you just migrated, you are new to that country, you don't understand how the job market works. Should you apply for jobs by 1 p.m., 2 p.m.? Which job site should you apply to? How should you go about it? The Navigating the Job Market session would house professionals that will come to speak to you on areas that they will come to speak to you on how they were able to succeed, where you're currently trying to succeed, what they did right, so you can do those things and ensure that your route to success is faster, and what they did wrong that delayed their success, so you don't do those things as well. Okay, all of those things would ensure that you get your feet in the door. But that's not all. You have the interview. We don't just want it to end in the interview stage. And that's why you can book for an interview prep session with a professional, whereby you have a one-on-one interaction. And then you are told about things that common questions asked in an interview, ways for you to answer those questions, how you can talk about your experience, how you can go about salary negotiation to ensure that you don't just get your feet in the door, but your entire being gets into the organization and that you get that job. And recruiters nowadays want a reference letter. They want to know if you are really who you say you are. In your last job, during the interview, you told them that you built a plane in the last job, an airplane, and that you were the only person in the project, and you built the airplane in 5 days. And the recruiter is like, oh, you built an airplane, fantastic. I want you to come over. I want you to come to my organization and build an airplane for me as well. But they want to know, did you really build an airplane? Are you who you say you are? And so they need someone that would serve as a guarantor, someone that would confirm, oh, I've worked with this person, and this person is great. You would be lucky to have this person in your organization. As long as you're an alumnus or a participant with Analytics, you are sure of getting a fantastic reference letter. Because what will be on your profile would be data analytics consultant with Analytics, as that is what we usually, because you are not just training, you are going to be working on real life projects, real business problems that industry experts have worked on, issues that we've worked on. So you are going to be working with us, consulting on real projects, and so whenever the need arises, you are sure of getting a backing when it comes to what references. And one very, very big thing is the mentorship session. Sometimes we might apply and apply and apply for roles, and we are not getting callbacks. You have applied for 20 roles, for 50 roles, for 100 roles, and you might want to give up. You need someone that will tell you that it's fine. Rejections happen to even the best of us. Someone that will tell you that it's okay. Go ahead to apply and you'll be fine. Someone that will take a look at what you're doing and will show you ways that you can do things in a better sense to ensure you get that job. Tell you about new trends in the industry and better ways to get things done. You need to be mentored. The weekly mentorship session would be weekly, which will guide you to fast track your route to success. And of course, on the job support. You've gotten the job, you were given a task that's really not clear. You need help, you need guidance on how you can go around that. The on-the-job support, you can always reach out to us, even when you're done with the program, and we'll provide guidance on what you can do. So click on this, click on that, go about this way, so you go back to work and you do well. All right? All of these things are meant to ensure that you have the other 50% for you to what? Get the job. We have a dual learning approach here at Analytics, whereby you are learning using the LMS and also whereby you're learning using the LMS and the live classes. Now I'm going to show you what the LMS looks like. Okay, so once you register on the platform, not register, so once you register, and an account will be created for you. Okay, and then you get access to the LMS. So let's say you register for the data analytics course now. So over here you have the data analytics. All right, so you can click on that, and then you have different videos, what we call watch me do it videos, that would introduce you to a concept that you would be learning in the next class. So you have the videos, you have the different weeks, and then let's say for week 1 you have Microsoft Excel, so you can click on these, and then you can see the different modules and then the different videos for each module. So you have an assessment, a quiz section, a quiz that you can take after you're done with the entire module, with the entire week, to test your knowledge on if you really do understand what was taught in the videos or not. So you can go ahead to play the videos. So the videos are very, very much practical. You have the materials, all right? You have the materials that you can download, and then you can watch and practice alongside.
Game
So
playing
this was
upper, lower,
created by
proper,
Femina. So this is a Femina
substitute, right?
teaching. Okay,
Training.
so you go
All
ahead,
right. So you
working
get
with
this Excel
Excel,
file.
and then you train. And this is the same thing for the other weeks. And you also have a badge system to make learning more fun. So you have a badge system whereby for every week you complete, for every assessment you take, you have your badges end. Badges end that you can share on social media to ensure that to put yourself out there, to let people know that you can really do this. So that when opportunities arise, people are like, oh yes, I remember that I saw this person, Josiah. I saw Josiah's LinkedIn that Josiah can work with this too. And they go ahead to call you for opportunities. So for every week you complete, for every assessment you complete, you get a badge. And you also have a leaderboard system. Okay, you have a leaderboard system where you get to see how you compare with your peers. Now, this is a platform that is made to ensure that you are understanding what is being taught. Like I said, we have a dual learning approach. So it doesn't matter if you're a slow learner or a fast learner, no problem. Because during the week, while you're going through all of these videos, then on Saturday, you have a live class, just like what we are having at the moment. This interaction between you and I, whereby you're working on case studies, you're asking questions, you're speaking with the facilitator, and then you're working on problems, on actual case studies. So you're learning with the videos, you're learning in the class to ensure that you have what it takes to be successful in that field. Okay, so that is the LMS. That is something that you are going to get access to as soon as you register. All right, the next cohort begins October 5th. That's on the 5th of October, just a couple of days, a couple of weeks from now, the 5th of October. That's when the next cohort begins. And for you to be a part of this cohort, what you need to do is to make a commitment. All right, you need to make a commitment. Now, for you to be a part of the program, for you to register for the business analyst or the data analysis program, the fee is $750 or £625 if you're paid in pounds, 730 euros if you're paid in euros, or 1,125 Canadian dollars if you're paid in Canadian dollars, as in CAD. But if you are part of the first 20 persons to register, you are going to have a 20% off. That's the discount. And so when you are paying, if you're paying in pounds, you get to pay £500 instead. If you're paid in dollars, you get to pay $600 instead. If you're paid in euros, you get to pay 580 euros instead. And if you're paid in Canadian dollars, you get to pay 900 Canadian dollars instead. Okay, and this can also be broken down into installments. So my colleague has been sending the link to the chat box. So you can click on that link to make payments to ensure that you're part of the first 20 persons. Once you click on the link, it's going to take you to the Analytics Enrollment Center. Now you can make payments two ways. You can make payments from our website. All right. You can make payments from our website, or you can make payments using the Analytics Enrollment Center. All right, and I will show you both ways. So if you click on that link, it will bring you over to the Analytics Enrollment Center. And over here, you have chat with Analytics. So let's say you're looking to make payments and you encounter an issue or you need to speak with someone. You can click on this and someone is on ground to respond to your questions to help you out, okay? If you're interested in our other programs. We currently offer 8 programs here at Analytics. So you can click on this to take a look at what we offer on the other programs, okay? And over here, you have the price list. So I think someone asked, Brendan's asking about the price in there. So over here, you can see the price list. So in there, if you qualify for the discount, all right, in there, that will be 1.1 million in there, all right? And then, of course, you have the upload your receipt. So let's say you want to make payments using your card. Okay, let's say you want to make payments using your card. Now you can pay using the main stack. All right, you can pay using the main stack. So let's say you want to make the first installment. That's the first installment of $400. All right, or that's if you qualify for the discount. You want to make payments of $400 or 400 euros. All right, you can come over to the main stack and then you click on Pay with Main Stack. Okay, you click on Pay with Main Stack, and then what happens? Just a moment, this should come up. Okay, so this seems to be taking some time. All right, so you click on Pay with Main Stack, and then you get to select the program you're looking to register for. So let's say you want to register for business analysis. So you can come over here and then you click on what? On business analysis. All right, so you can click on business analysis, and then over here, it doesn't matter the currency you're using or the location you are in. This is going to be converted to your local currency. So if you are in the US, this will be converted to dollars. If you are in the UK, this will be converted to pounds. All right. So I'm in Nigeria at the moment. I'm currently in Nigeria, and that's the reason why this is in naira. All right. So I can go ahead to make my first installment. So I can pay, let's say, 800,000, and as soon as I insert that, that's if I don't want to pay the full amount at the start, I can insert 800,000, and then I click on proceed to pay. And then over here, I insert my name, I insert my email address, and then my phone number. I'm just going to insert random numbers. Okay, just select something and insert random numbers. Okay, and then I can go ahead to click on pay for products. Now, after clicking on pay for products, it brings this up that where it asks for my card details. So I can go ahead to insert my card details and everything, and then I click on pay. All right. So as soon as I pay, I can come back here to upload my receipts. It's very important that I upload receipts. Okay, so once you upload your receipt, you get a feedback from us, a confirmation from us, and everything you need to be a part of the program. Now, if you are unable to, let's say maybe you want to make payments, you are curious how if maybe you want to make payments in 2 installments, so you are not able to make payments in 2 installments, but you want to make payments in 2 installments. So we have something available for you as well. What you can do is you can come over to the Analytics installment payment system. So you can click on automatic installments, and this would open up this page. All right. And then you can go ahead to make payments. So you can choose your plan. So let's say you want to make payments in 2 installments, but you don't have up to the first instrumental payments placed on the on this image. Okay. So let's say you want to make everything equal. So you qualify for the discount and you're paying in dollars. So instead of paying $400 as your first installment, you want to go ahead to pay $200 as your first installment, and then pay the other $300 as your second installment. So you can come over here and then you see you have the monthly payment. So you can select the two tranches. All right. So you have the one-time payment, the 2 tranches, and the 3 tranches. Okay. So you can select any of them you want. Like I said, I'm currently in Nigeria, and that's the reason why this is in there. This is if you were to join in, let's say you're in the US or you're in the UK, this would be dollars. All right. But once you make payments, the local currency equivalent will be subtracted from your account, and they can go ahead to say, oh, I want to make 2 installments. So if you're paying in dollars, that will be $200 per for every month. So per month you get to pay $200. So $200 for the first month, $200 for the second month, and $200 for the third month. So you can click on this and click on proceed to pay. So you don't need to worry about having to keep up with your payments, because at the end of the month it will be automatically debited from your account, and so you know that you are covered. Right. So yeah, that's about it. So you can click on upload your receipt, like I mentioned. And if you're looking to pay from the website, so you can come over to the website. Okay, so you can go over to www.tenalytics.io. All right. And then once you come over here, you can go to where we have learn, and then you see we have instructor-led courses. So you can click on that. All right, you can click on that and you can scroll down and you see the different programs. So you can select any of the program you're looking to pay for. So let's say you're looking to pay for data analytics. So I can click on view course details. I can click on view course details. I get to see the course details over here. And of course, I can go ahead to take a look at the brochure if I'm interested, and then click on enroll. So you can make payments either of these two methods. So like I mentioned earlier, please, if we've been doing this before, all right? It's not a new thing. We've been able to, we understand what works in the industry, and you want to ensure that you are a part of this. So many testimonials. As soon as you have the slides, you can go through all of these. So many people we've been able to make that, we've been able to help make that switch into tech. You want to ensure you register as quickly as possible so you are part of the discount. So I don't know if we have questions. If you have a question for me, you can go ahead to use the raise hand icon. Okay, so if you have a question, just use the raise hand icon. I'll ask you to unmute, and then you can go ahead to ask your question. Any questions? All right. All right then. So it seems no questions. I hope we had an amazing time. I hope we do. That we did. Like I said, we are going to be having fun, and I do hope that that was the case today. So this is where we're going to be ending the session today. Thank you very much for joining in, and I think I would end with what we usually tell kids. All right. Maybe you've told your kid this a time or two. And what is that? Tick tick says the clock. What you have to do, ensure you do quick. Go ahead to make that payment right now so you are part of the discount. Cheers, everyone.